Hi there everyone, it's Flutterby Bubbles, and today I am drawing Komala. So yeah, let's get into it. So the reason I am drawing Komala of all Pokemon is because it's a Gen 7 Pokemon and I'm really looking forward to the sequels, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon, and they are coming out really soon. Like, as of this recording, it's less than 2 weeks away, so I am really hyped. I love Pokemon. So yeah. So Komala is constantly sleeping, so I wanted to draw it cuddling its log and sleeping on a pillow, along with a nice proper background, which I've only really started doing recently, and I find it really improves my art. So as you can see for sketching, I sketched in 3 different colours. It was a pink for the Komala itself, blue for the pillow, and green for the background, but that's hidden at the moment. So yeah, I did my line art for the Komala and the pillow on the same layer, but I don't do the background until a bit later, and you will see when I get to it. I will tell you. So yeah, I'm just doing the line art. I'm usually not too great at drawing Pokemon, but I quite like how this turned out. I don't know why I'm not too great at drawing Pokemon. It's just kind of one of those things that are difficult for me, along with animals, so that's probably kind of related. But yeah, I really think this Pokemon is cute. I've never used one or anything. Yeah, I just never really came across one in the wild, so I never thought to use it. Because when I'm playing Pokemon, I don't have a pre-planned team. I just kind of use whatever I encounter. So yeah, now we're on to colouring. I have a pre-made colour palette ready. It's in my little reference page thing, and as you can see when I'm flipping forward and back, I had sketched out Komala already, just so that I could kind of get a feel for what it was going to be like to draw. Oh my gosh, I could not think of the word. Even though I have a script, I could not think of the word. Duh. So yeah, I decided to go for a pink for the pillow, just because, I thought it would pop out nicely against the blue. And then on a completely different layer under everything else, I did my background. So yeah, and blah blah blah. Onto shading. Thank goodness I don't have to talk about the backgrounds anymore. So I used a dark red on a multiply layer with a watercolor brush. And something I did differently this time was I used my blur tool to soften up the shading, whereas usually I would just airbrush it. And I did the same with highlights. I just did little circles where I thought a highlight would be good and blurred it out. Now the highlights were on a different layer to the shading, but yeah, is having trouble with my with my layer opacities and stuff. It was kind of confusing me, but yeah, I think it turned out looking really nice and stuff like that. But yeah, I did the same for my background, only in the end I decided to use an airbrush to soften the background because the blur tool wasn't doing it for me. So yeah, but I went back to the blurring light colours for highlights and blah 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 blah. You've probably had enough of that. I tried to do one of these little thick black outlines, but I said that weirdly. But I really didn't like how it turned out. It just kinda so I ended up deleting it. Yeah, and one thing I would recommend when you're drawing, especially if you're intending on posting your art online, is make sure to put your username or whatever. So I put @FlutterbyBubble, and the reason it doesn't have an S on it is because it's going to be going on Twitter, and my Twitter thing won't fit the S on the end of it, so yeah. And I drew a cute little caterpillar, which is kind of my logo now. So yeah, that's that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry for not making videos that much. I just find them hard to make. So I hope you'll put up with me for a little bit longer until I figure out how to make making videos easier for myself. Whoa, that was a long sentence to say. Anyway, this is the end of the video, and I don't have an outro, so bye!